Team, we're back, and you're about to experience literally the shortest episode that we've ever done. Hayden was just teasing. He's like, because every time we say this, we're like, all right, we're only gonna talk for 20 minutes, or we're only gonna talk for 30 minutes, and then 2 hours later was the
I don't
joke he
buy it,
came up
Brooke.
with.
I don't buy a short episode, but we'll
This
see.
one for real is gonna be short. This is Fraud to Fearless.
Friends, you are made for more purpose, more confidence, more impact. Because when you live fearless, you inspire others to do the same.
Let's go. From the get-go, Hayden, if you've been with us from the beginning, you know we've gone through some transitions. We've gone through logos, we've gone through intros, we've gone through mini-series, we've gone through so many different ideas as we've iterated, gotten feedback from you guys. And one of the things that Hayden has taught me and been such a great example of is the act of consistency. Last summer, we took a break. I'm not saying I might try to convince you again. We might take another pause. But from the beginning, Hayden's been like, the most important thing is consistency, consistency. And one of the things you've heard this phrase, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so I've learned so much from you, Hayden. This is our effort to be consistent, even though we have been slammed the last few weeks. But this is something important to us. We don't want to just put something out to put it out, but we do want to show up and be consistent. So this is our episode today. Hayden.
I love it. I love it. I love the intro. Can we do just like a quick life update for those listening? We've both had some really exciting career and business updates for both of us. So I can go first. So for those of you that have listening that know me, know my background. So I've been working with Honeywell for 8 years. Honeywell has a very interesting year coming up, right? Where we've announced publicly for some time now that we're going to split into 3 industry leading publicly traded companies. So we're essentially taking a $40+ billion portfolio and turning that into 3 publicly traded companies. So last year, 2025 in October, we spun off our advanced materials business, which is now called Solstice Advanced Materials. So that went public back in Q4 of last year. And now we're essentially splitting the rest of the company essentially in half, where we'll have Honeywell and then Honeywell Aerospace. So this is like from an HR perspective, from a corporate America perspective, like this is a Super Bowl, once in a lifetime type experience, opportunity. And so essentially we need to figure out what everyone's doing. So like we went through this exercise where, the most senior leaders went through and built out what the future state organizations for both companies are going to look like. And then we just finished actually telling employees like what your role is going to be in the future org. So I will be getting a promotion. So I will now be a senior director leading global HR operations for Honeywell
Killing
Aerospace.
it. Woo! I just got to cheer for you, man.
Yeah.
This is so much hard work. So
Yeah.
much hard work. Well deserved.
Thank you. It's a super humbling experience. I'll have a global team all over the world. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a big jump for me. I've got a ton to learn. My team is all smarter than me. And I'm okay with that. I think being a big leader, Brooke, you and I have been talking about this off camera, but having a platform and having a podcast literally built upon the idea that all of us have imposter syndrome. All of us have self-doubt. I'm actually quite comfortable now being vulnerable and communicating that to my team, to other leaders. You got to navigate your brand, right? But I think more of us should be open talking about imposter syndrome instead of just trying to come across as if we've got everything figured out and we're perfect. And so I think the world needs more talking about this topic and not less, which is why we started this. But yeah, super exciting. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be really challenging, but I am looking forward to what's next.
And Hayden, I can't wait to hear your perspective as you go through this. I think it's going to shape our episodes and the things that you're learning. And, we've been getting DMs from some of you guys asking more questions about imposter syndrome. And how do I step into this and the fears and the constant living in it? You know, it's not just a one and done. And so we hear you. We want to talk more about this and dive into it while we are experiencing it ourselves. So love the update, Hayden.
Tell us, Brooke, you've been busy. What's going on in your world?
Yeah, it's been crazy. We're wrapping up with interns as we speak. And so go check out their episode. They just did amazing. I've had interns for Steward of My Life as well, and ramping up to get a new group of interns. So we're kind of in this transition phase. Hayden, I just accepted last month a position as an affiliate faculty at BYU. And I can't tell too much about it because I'm going to be doing some research, but I'm so excited. It's related to Steward of My Life and my passion of goals. And I cannot wait. This is just a dream, a huge new learning experience where I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm having to learn a ton as well. But it's amazing that I was reflecting back on my journey where I started. We both started in the same space, right?
Mhm.
Starting in human resources, and I had these big ideas for what my life was going to look like. And there was moments along the path where I was like, I don't like this. I don't like where I am. I've seen such purpose in each of the moments, and just seeing how one small action following the desires of my heart have led to a completely different trajectory. I am alongside each of you working on this fearless journey, taking one small shaky step at a time to go for my dreams and the things that matter most to me. So I'm excited for all the next things
And
to come.
you are an author, and your book is in the BYU library. You're just not going to say that?
Oh my goodness. I forgot about this. Yes, my book.
Wait. Brooke has so many amazing things going on that when we're planning on doing a 10-minute episode, she forgets that her book that she wrote is in the BYU library, and she just forgets that that happened because there's so much going on. That is awesome.
Goodness. No, this was more of an official launch. So it's been on Amazon for a while, Hayden. And that's why in the back of my mind, I'm like, this already happened, but thank you. Yes, I can't believe it's in a physical bookstore. That's so crazy to me, being able to actually walk in and see it. That was definitely an emotional day for me. I got to bring my little 4-year-old with me, and it was so sweet. So
That.
thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
the shout out.
So I missed episode 45. So that was you recording alone. And in listening to that episode, for those of you listening, if you haven't listened to that Brooke solo episode, which is, you've done one other solo episode, right? And I haven't.
Yeah.
So this is your second solo episode. So generally we tag team as much as we can, but you know, when life happens, we got to get creative. And so thank you for doing that episode. I loved it. One of the takeaways that I had from listening to your episode was just how similar we all are. And so it's funny that you just reflected that we met in the same program and then started literally walking down the same path. And now we're in very different paths, doing very different things, but we're still doing it. Like we're writing our story. We're the captain of our ship, but we're doing it on very different ships, maybe in different oceans. And eventually, we got to get a reunion and, make sure we continue to spend time together. But I just think that that's so cool. But I am now in the second week of my new job, and one lesson that I've learned so far, 2 weeks in, is almost like how powerful self-pity is. Just like kind of the boo-hoo story that I tell myself, that it's been a hard week and I've been thrown in the fire and I'm having to solve things and I'm the leader, right? So like the buck stops here. Like I gotta figure it out. But I don't know anything. Like I'm just doing my best. And I think that's what being a big leader is going into a situation, and even if you know nothing, finding ways to add value. But there's a little voice in my head that's like, my gosh, this isn't fair. Like everyone else knows what they're doing in their job, but you don't. Like boo hoo, like Hayden, the world's picking on Hayden. And whenever I get in those modes, that it's really hard to counter that voice. And so what I've been trying to do is take a step back and get some perspective and recognize that there's a whole lot of other people that are in new jobs that just like me are navigating, that just like me are dealing with fire drills and folks being in different parts of the organization and maybe not having the knowledge or the support or the access that they need to get everything done. So just do your best, man. Just do your best. One email at a time, one conversation at a time, and then eventually you do that enough, it compounds into a month, 6 months, a year, and now it's a role in your history instead of like the world's ending right now. And I think what was so beautiful about your episode 45 is how important it is to just take perspective. And then I think the other thing for me is every day try and make moments that you'll never forget. To just have that as a goal. Uh I've talked about this in the past, but I'm a huge fan of the TV show Survivor. And Survivor has their 50th season, which is kind of perfect timing, Brooke, because
What?
we are coming very close to a big milestone episode number that will be here before we know it. So we can not give anything away, but talk about that to close out here. But there was an episode in Survivor 50 where Zach Brown, so Zach Brown Band, I'm a huge fan of his music. He came on and was a surprise guest appearance on one of the episodes, which is pretty unusual in Survivor. They normally don't do that. And Zach said he's watched every season, and he went and spearfished dinner for the tribe that won the reward challenge. And then Zach actually cooked the food. Like, he didn't have his chef come. Like, he caught the food, he caught the fish, and then he prepared the dinner, and then he like played music for all of the tribe members who won the reward challenge. And I think that that episode changed my life because obviously Zach Brown is incredible musician, but the tribe members they all teared up, Brooke. And it was just very powerful moment where it doesn't even matter if they knew Zach Brown or not. It doesn't even matter if they liked the dinner or not. They all recognized that they were in a moment that they will never forget for their entire life. And it was so special. Like, it was hard to not tear up and get emotional watching them go through that experience. And I just thought, like, sometimes when you're in like the grind at work, it's hard, it's lonely, it's frustrating. It's like you're in the arena, man, and you're trying and you're in the trenches and you feel alone and it's really hard. But I think if for those of you listening, if there's one message I would want you to take away from this episode, just like keep going. And if you can just have a goal every day to try and at least make one memory that you will potentially, look, you're not going to remember every memory for your whole life. But if you just have that goal that every day you try to make one memory that you will never forget for your whole life, that's living, Brooke. That's a life. And because at the end of the day, whatever you believe in, we don't know when our days are going to be up. And so, in the grand scheme of things, if worrying about some work project or someone's frustrated or some leader doesn't think you're the best person in the world, in the end of the day, does that even matter? So it's important. We need to, stay grounded and make sure that we're performing in work-life relationships, but let's also make sure that our North Star is what we're following.
Hayden, what a beautiful message of just every moment counts. And every moment, you said it was a beautiful moment where they knew it was never going to happen again. And that's every day that we experience it. So here's my final thought, and let's close it out. So it's not really 2 hours later. Okay. I have this app on my phone that it's to do with the saboteurs that we've talked about, right? And it has different meditations. Today, one of the things was integrate joy. And so I've been reflecting on that this morning, and I thought, how many times do we feel like aren't able to experience joy or happiness until something happens. Like we're waiting for a future date. Once I accomplish this, once I get through this hard season in my leadership, once my summer rolls around, once whatever else, then I'm going to feel joy. Then I'm going to feel happiness. And this meditation this morning kind of pushed back on that. And so why is it we try to live, we're constantly living in these negative emotions of stress and everything else. And it said, put on your favorite song and just dance.
Mm.
Put on your favorite song and dance like nobody's watching and see what that does for you. Is that going to get rid of the stress of what you're going to have to do this weekend? Is that going to get rid of all the things that are on your plate? Most definitely not. I wish that it worked that way. But for a moment, you're going to feel the shift. You're going to experience joy. And do you know how empowering that is? That we actually have the ability to create joy in our life, regardless of whatever trial we're going through. Even if we're not through it yet, you can still feel the emotion of joy, even if it's just for a moment. And so that's what I wanted to add on to what you said. There's so many times and seasons, Hayden, I'm right with you. And, I've been doing pretty good of not getting emotional yet, but we're in growing seasons. Like, you are doing amazing. I know you. I know you're showing up for your team, for your family, for your 1-year-old, for your incredible Allie, and it becomes overwhelming. Let's remember, in the thick of it all, find the joy. Turn on your favorite song. Dance like nobody's watching. Let yourself feel it. And then come back. We'll get to it. So I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you,
Excited to see all
author.
the
I had a daydream, I call them that, but I just had this vision that there's gonna be some biography of you one day. I'm calling dibs on writing the foreword or whatever, like the before chapter 1, the introduction to the author, that's mine.
You're the best. Man.
I love it. This is so much fun, isn't it? I'm proud of us, Brooke. We got 50 coming, like episode 50 is around the corner. I'm so happy at what we're building. I just want to say thank you to you. This has been so much fun, and one of the things I'm most proud of, Brooke, is that just you and I are doing it together. Like, at the end of the day, if we impact one person's life positive, we've said that that's like a great, like that's the goal, is to impact one person's life in a positive way. But you and I get to spend time together. Like, we're finding an excuse to spend time together and do something that makes the world a better place. So I love it. For now, y'all, that's the pod. Team Fearless out.